Welcome. I'm Stan Hustad, and I'm the leader and the co-founder of the Christian Entrepreneur Network and the creator of our exclusive program called the Coaching Experience. And now these powerful ideas and practices have been updated, put together, and renewed, and are now just for you. So you can have a way to coach yourself and then be a guiding and caring coach for others. Indeed, the new Christian Entrepreneur Coaching Experience is indeed a coaching experiment. One of my favorite words is experiment. Here's the story. Many years ago, I had a school science teacher who was a true science geek. Now, that was long before that term was ever used. He obviously loved teaching, and after many years of teaching, had turned the science classroom into a laboratory, a museum. There were Bunsen burners, test tubes, microscopes, telescopes, stuffed animals, charts, pictures, all kinds of equipment all over the place. I loved it. It was a fascinating experience for a young geeky kid. And a small group of us often went to the lab after school hours to do our own experiments under his guidance. I remember one day when this master teacher was putting an arrangement of equipment together for another experiment that we often had in our class. He said to us with a bit of a chuckle, "Class, I hope you realize that I always call these little projects experiments rather than demonstrations. That's in case they don't work out." I was sitting in a corner of the classroom and I started to laugh. Unfortunately, I was the only one who was laughing. Nobody else in the class got it. The teacher realized that his little joke had fallen flat, and he gave me an appreciative smile for laughing. I have remembered that line since that day. It's an experiment in case it doesn't work out. In some ways, that story and statement has saved my sanity many times. You know, there is so much in our life where we expect and often are expected to do it right, make the sale, perform at our best. We hope and expect to succeed, but it often does not work out. No matter how thoughtful and well-planned and well-executed our projects are, they turn out to be experiments, and often failed ones, rather than demonstrations. I know this from deep experience. We drop our chins, sigh, swallow hard, or feel weak. We put on a brave face, take our lumps, and try to press on. Our project, our experiment failed. Here's a quote from Eric Ries. "I would say as an entrepreneur, everything you do, every action you take, in product development, in marketing, every conversation you have, everything you do is an experiment. If you can conceptualize your work not as building features, not as launching campaigns, but as running experiments, you can get radically more done with less effort." And at other times, the plan comes together. Blood, toil, tears, sweat do the work for us, and grace and good fortune come our way. It happens. The business is launched. We get the gig, we close the deal, and the project is profitable. The book is published. The experiment is a success, and we share congrats, high fives, a smile, and deep joy. Now you know why I call this essay the coaching experiment, because I want to be real and I want to be truthful. Like many of you, I'm often exhausted by all the hype of the promised prosperity and success stuff that's all around. There are hundreds of books and training programs and coaching boot camps that promise success if you follow the program and work the plan. It also helps if you buy more of their stuff. They guarantee results. They promise great benefits. That is foolishness, my friend. Life and business have no guarantees. Life indeed is difficult. And as songwriter and singer John Lennon once lamented, life is what happens when you are making other plans. But to make it even more difficult, most people don't even have any plans. any plans for the projects of their life. We just kind of deal with the day and hope for a better day to come. Yet most people who have successful projects live and work with plans and principles and performance practices in mind. They also have people to help them. That is what this program is all about. Plans, principles, and performance practices, but no promises. It is an experiment. I have clients whose success is astounding in building businesses, careers, and enjoying life. Others say nothing happened, except for a greater frustration with their situation and with me. Now that we're clear, let's plan for success and seek to understand what success might be like in the coaching experiment experience. So for this little spoken essay, and a way to remind us, we will often use the word experiment for experience. And I trust you see the wisdom and the worth of the word for our learning together. Now, as we often do, we continue with, let me tell you a story. Years ago, when I was beginning my business, I did what all entrepreneurs have to do. You call on people. You seek to tell your story or make an offer and hope for a positive response of some kind. I got a recommendation and called a gentleman who immediately understood that I was selling. He quickly cut off my regular script of introduction and kindly but firmly said, "Stan, I know what you are doing. I do it myself. Just tell me what you got." What you got? In other words, get to the bottom line. What do I get if I buy from you? Or do what you want me to do? In many years of coaching others, I have discovered that there are 7 answers to the question, what you got, in coaching. And it's difficult to find an adequate term to describe or categorize these results of a good coaching experiment. So let's call them states of being. It's a combination of the state of mind and the state of our performance. Hence, a state of being. And they will become clearer as we describe them. First, we seek greater clarity. Greater clarity about what is true and what to do. In the midst of life's complexity, confusion, and chaos, clarity is gained about what to do. Focused conversations about goals, desires, and intentions often bring simplicity, good ideas, and solutions to our busy situations. I have found that the most profound and helpful question to many people is simply this: and what do you want? That is where we start because most people don't know. Then the end of a good coaching conversation or experiment is reflected in the statement, good. Now that's clear. Yes, what is clear to you now? Second, there's often greater awareness. Yes, greater awareness of human motivation and cause and effect. Or as Bugs Bunny would say, what's up, Doc? What's going on? In a coaching conversation, I often say, don't judge, just notice. Be aware. Focus on what is going on, not just on what you are doing. Please tell me, why was that a successful sale or a presentation? Often I hear, I knew exactly what was going to happen next, and I was right. I really have come to trust my gut and intuition. I really did connect the dots, and it was obvious what to do. I really am getting good at knowing how my behavior and my language affects others. These are examples of the subtle but vital state of being that we have discovered in many highly successful people. They have greater awareness of what is going on, what is true, and what to do. Number 3 is one of the most important. More energy. More energy for greater activity and vitality. Now, if this state of being is not achieved, nothing of consequence will happen in coaching experiments. Personal energy is the capacity for vigorous activity, intensity, and the power of attraction. Energy comes from rest, exercise, eating well, and optimism. It also comes from a product of the first two states. Greater clarity and awareness is empowering, and that feeling gives us more energy. Now, when our bodies and minds feel and express personal energy, good things happen. We often attract good opportunities and helpful people into our life. I know that our energy levels are the keys to achieving many of our goals. So I challenge clients to exercise, rest, drink less alcohol, dress well, pick up the pace, smile, read more books, and watch less TV. Pray for and care for others. Be aware of your energy output, because that is a fundamental way to stand out in the marketplaces of life and business. In a summary statement, I say, coaching is about creating, directing, and sustaining personal energy. It is one of our greatest challenges. And now, some years ago, my daughter wrote a book entitled How to Be Useful. I learned a lot. The fourth thing you want is to be a person who is very useful. That's right, very useful by being effective and creative. Charles William Eliot says, "Be unselfish. That is the first and final commandment for those who would be useful and happy in their usefulness." If you think of yourself only, you cannot develop, because you are choking the source of development, which is spiritual expansion through thought for others. Unfortunately, many people are passive in their lives and work. They go with the flow, do only what they have to do, and they merely react to life. Nothing great happens from living such a style. Others are active, and they do things. But being active does not mean that things changed or that other things were created. Changing things that are important is effective. Coming up with new ideas and building things that are helpful is creative. Coaching is to help us be far more useful to ourselves, our organization, and maybe our world, by being more effective and creative. In coaching, I often say, what changed? Was it helpful? What effect did that have? Are you pleased with the result? Tell me why. That's what we mean by effective. We are also called to stretch our creative efforts, to do things to help us grow artistically, intellectually, and professionally. I often say that one of the goals of a coaching experiment is to go from being a watcher to a doer to a change maker to a creator. That's useful. And next, we seek to help you be more influential. That's more influential through the power of attraction and persuasion. Effective people who want to make a difference must be able to influence others. They need to become more persuasive. Learning to promote good things and persuade others is one of the key performing arts that we hope to enhance in every coaching experiment. Related to persuasion is the almost mystical concept of attraction. Now, in many coaching programs, one of the major goals is called greater personal attraction. Now, if used in the best sense of the word, I agree. Here is how it works, hopefully. If you have greater clarity, clear focus, with high awareness, combined with high energy, and demonstrated by useful creativity, people will be attracted to you. They will come under your circle of influence and are subject to your persuasive giftedness. That's leadership power. This kind of leadership is not defined by power, authority, and position, but by being a thought leader, an idea generator, and an inspiration to others. It is about being influential. Now, is this description beginning to remind you of people you admire and follow? Now, the coaching experiment is to help you be that kind of person, the person you want to be. Yes, help you to be the person you want to be. Do you know what that might be like? And now the next one is the sweet one. The true sweet spot is to be fruitful. Now, being fruitful is the key to real life results and financial wherewithal. John Ortberg says, over time, grit is what separates the fruitful lives from aimlessness. He looked at me with somewhat of a skeptical smile. And the bottom line is, Hustad, how is your coaching going to help me make more money? Now, that is often the question. Will all this coaching stuff help us be more productive and make more money? Well, it can, and in many cases it will. To do that, however, we must embrace being fruitful. Now, fruitful is one of my favorite coaching expressions. It is an old spiritual expression. In the ancient Hebrew scriptures, we are told to be fruitful, to go forth and multiply. Now, to me, this is more than a call to human procreation. It is the essence of life. To be fruitful is to be more than thoughtful, more than inspirational, more than motivational, educational, or even useful. Fruitful means real things have been produced and achieved. For example, when I have an apple, a piece of fruit in my hand, it is real stuff. This isn't soft stuff. It's the result of productive labor and nurture. It has real value. I can eat it for its nutritional and life-giving value, or I can sell it to another person for money. It has financial value. But fruitful means more. The apple has seeds in it for growing new apples, many new apples. Fruitful means there is a potential for new life and growth. We can multiply our results. Thirdly, fruit is generally sweet. Sweet is something pleasant to the mind and feelings. There are things that we seek and need that are indeed the sweet spots in life. In summary, something that is fruitful is real, it is life-giving, and it's sweet. Now let the meaning and mystery of the word fruitful be the metaphor for the sixth state of being in the coaching experiment. If successful in our projects, it may help us make more money, which is a legitimate metric. We want to be fruitful, productive, and we want to make more money. But money may not be the metric, and rightly so. But then, what is the metric? That is what we seek to discover for each person in a coaching experiment. What is success? What is the metric? What is fruitful? And now the seventh state of being in our coaching experience and experiment. Serene. Serenity is the personal power to be at peace. The famous prayer of Reinhold Niebuhr and the good folks of AA, God give us grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, the courage to change the things which should be changed, and, oh God, the wisdom to distinguish the one from the other. The seventh state is the one we would all love to possess, and in some cases actually can come to us. It is serenity. Serenity is to be unaffected by disturbance, tranquil, unruffled, and calm. There's an old essay that gives a feeling description of the serenity state. And it's from what is called The Majesty of Calmness by William George Jordan. It goes like this. Calmness is the rarest quality in human life. It is the poise of a great nature in harmony with itself and its ideals. It is the moral atmosphere of a life self-centered, self-reliant, and self-controlled. Calmness is singleness of purpose, absolute confidence, and conscious power. ready to be focused in an instant to meet any crisis. The man who is calm has his course in life clearly marked. On his chart, his hand is ever on the helm. Storm, fog, night, tempest, danger, hidden reefs, he is ever prepared and ready for them. He is made calm and serene by the realization that in these crises of his voyage, he needs a clear mind, a cool head, that he has not to do but to do each day the best he can by the light he has. That he will never flinch nor falter for a moment. That though he may have to tack and leave his course for a time, he will never drift. He will get back into the true channel. He will keep ever headed toward his harbor. When he will reach it, how he will reach it, matters not to him. He rests in calmness knowing he has done his best. If his best seems to be overthrown or overruled, then he must still bow his head in calmness. To no man is permitted to know the future of his life, the finality. God commits to man ever only new beginnings, new wisdom, and new days to use the best of his knowledge. Calmness comes ever from within. It is the peace and restfulness of the depths of our nature. The fury of storm and of wind agitate only the surface of the sea. They cannot penetrate only 200 or 300 feet. Below that is the calm, unruffled deep. To be ready for the great causes of life, we must learn serenity in our daily living. Calmness is the crown of self-control. When the worries and cares of the day fret you and begin to wear upon you, and you chafe under the friction, be calm. Stop. Rest for a moment. And let calmness and peace assert themselves. If you let these irritating outside influences get the better of you, you are confessing your inferiority to them by permitting them to dominate you. Study the disturbing elements, each by itself. Bring all the willpower of your nature to bear upon them, and you will find that they will, one by one, melt into nothingness. Like vapors fading before the sun, the glow of calmness that will then pervade your mind, the tingling sensation of an inflow of new strength, may be to you the beginning of the revelation of the supreme calmness that is possible for you. Then in some great hour of your life, when you stand face to face with some awful trial, when the structure of your ambition and life work crumbles in a moment, you will be brave. You can then fold your arms calmly, look out, undismayed and undaunted upon the ashes of your hope, upon the wreck of what you have faithfully built. And with brave heart and unfaltering voice, you may say, "So let it be. I will build again." That is serenity, and the goal of the seventh state of the coaching experiment is serenity. Now, to sum up, these are the 7 states of being we seek. Greater clarity, greater awareness, more energy, very useful, more influential, fruitful, and serene. Serenity. And now, would you like to begin your own coaching experience, your own experiment? Well, we can help you begin. Again, my name is Stan, and I am the co-founder and leader of the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and we're hoping that you will join this worldwide network of media outlets and the bigger and more important network of people, real people, who will come together to help us, in effect, in the calmness of our very trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, be able to build a life that makes a difference, a business that matters, and to expand the brand, that we will do life in a way that makes Jesus smile, that makes a difference in the world, which helps us to be the people of service that He wants us to be, and that for that, the world will be better, and we will hear, "Hey, you did well. You did well. come on in. That's my hope, heart, and goal. And if we can help you, we would love to do what we can. Humble, frail people with no guarantees, but certainly a heart after what is truly important. TCENglobal.org. TCENglobal.org. I get real personal. StanHusted@gmail.com. StanHusted@gmail.com. That doesn't go to my assistant. That doesn't go to the office. It goes to me. And I'll do everything I can to help you begin again and to make a difference in your life and in your business and in your service to others. Let's see how working together and praying together and being what God wants us to be can truly bring us to the experience of knowing that the state of being that will help us be everything we want to be, to live out our God-given abilities, is truly within us and shining on to others. I want this good stuff to happen for me and for you. All the best and blessings. Until next time. I'm Stan for the Christian Entrepreneur Network, for the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. Let's see if we can work together. Bye for now.